Hi, everyone. Welcome to Until We Arise 2022. This year, we are starting off with a very exciting. Oh, let me just remove this. We are starting off with a very exciting series that I find super special for me because when I started Until We Arise in 2017, I was with Vero, and I was very excited just to kind of get the word out there about what God was showing me about the power of us as women being able to really walk out our callings in whatever that looked like. And for me, it was really challenging to walk in this calling without like really understanding everyone else around me and where I fit in, and not having a ton of different support systems to be able to say, hey, Rachel, this is the path for you. All I knew is God was stirring up a word inside of me. And I was like, I have to do this. I have to move forward. I have to share this word. And so that's where I am. And so in 2018, the Lord started to show me this idea of being a spiritual gangsta. And I know that sounds really ridiculous for some people. And if you know me, I'm not a gangsta. I am from LA, but I am far from a thug. Like I liked my rap music. I'll groove to it, but I'm not out there repping any kind of set or even pushing any kind of like thug or hoodlum ideas. However, since I'm an 80s baby, right? I was born in the 80s in the hood in LA, not necessarily the hood, but yeah, I'm LA. And what it is that when I hear the word gangsta, what it tells me, it's like a person who is kind of like resolved, a person who is, and the resolved means like just really, I looked it up, it says settle or find a solution to, decide firmly on a course of action, like someone who's down. And I don't know, so that's a part of my regular vernacular, you know what I mean? When someone like does something that's extra, like they have full confidence, they're not shaky about what they believe in, they're willing to face any consequences. I mean, we talk about a ride or die, right? Like we like talk about people who are willing to do whatever it takes. And the funny thing is, when I thought about being a spiritual gangster, it felt like this other part of me, it was like something that was always growing and inside of me, but it was hard to walk out. Um, because like I remember like I was hanging out with Vero a lot, and I quit my job, and left my career, and I was going to sell my house, and I realized that that these were ridiculous and scary and crazy decisions to make. It was and my entire like commitment was believing that God was going to have my back, that God was with me. And because of that, I had this confidence to move forward. But what I realized also is that being a spiritual gangster and having the confidence built up, that resolve inside of you to hold it down, is not something that happens overnight. It's something that is built up in us little by little by little. And so, as our intro, I'm just giving you that because I'm not really a person who's all about the thug life and saying, hey, we should break the rules and do all that. I'm actually a rule follower. But when it comes to serving God, I just have this image of like when I see people who have given it all up. I have a friend, Norma. She has dedicated her entire life to serving in a ministry. And when I look at all the things she said no to commit to this, I was like, dang, you're a thug. And I know that sounds crazy, but I just so resolved, so confident that this was real, that this was worth fighting for. I'm blown away, and that is my goal. And I remember looking at my friend Vero, who was making these like tough decisions in the face of everything in the flesh that said it was not going to work and you shouldn't go for it. And she said, you know what, I'm going to trust in God. I'm going to trust in the word. And so what I desired as I started this series like a few years ago was like to kind of walk us through the women of the word who were thugging it out in a sense, who were spiritual G's, and how, and like kind of go through that experience to say, how can we then have that same confidence? How can we become spiritual gangsters? How can we step it up and walk in that same kind of confidence? And so what I'm doing a little differently this year, this season, is we're going to be going through like just some short devotional. So this will probably be the longest one because I'm giving you a brief intro, but a short devotional every week to let you know little skills or little scriptural truths that can help us to build our faith, to be strong spiritual gangsters. And so she's a spiritual gangster. This is for you, women. This is for your friends. Share this with people. Let them know that they too can walk in the confidence. They don't have to be beat around by the enemy anymore. God has called us to be strong women of God. And how do we do that? We have to tap into our inner spiritual gangster who says, yes, I will move forward. No, I'm not going to let all these other things distract me because I'm down. I'm a ride or die. I keep it real. Whatever